Okay, so here's a short review of the new Elden Ring DLC, Shadow of the Erdtree. If you haven't already seen my review on the base game, I recommend checking it out. I basically expressed that Elden Ring is one of the best games I've ever played. From Software really delivered one of the greatest open worlds that one can explore, filled with many screenshot-worthy vistas, hidden dungeons, castles, caves, and other massive sections of the map that can be easily missed since they're completely optional. The base game has very satisfying combat, beautiful music, and some of the most epic boss battles that you'll experience in any game. Elden Ring has simply raised the bar for open world games. This DLC luckily meets all those expectations, and I think this is one of the best DLCs I've ever played. I had high expectations, and just like the base game, From Software really exceeded all my expectations. This DLC is massive, and I don't mean the map is massive in size, it's the amount of content available to you. Once again, the map is beautiful, with many secrets, vistas, and this time a lot more platforming. It's pretty big, I'd say around a quarter to a third of the base map, but it feels a lot bigger than that. After completing it, there are still many regions that I haven't been to, and I gotta catch up on those. There is easily 30 to 40 hours of content, and this can vary depending on your skills. The recommended level in my opinion for this DLC is level 130-ish. You gotta defeat Mohg the Bloodlord to gain access to the new region, which is already pretty difficult to beat, so this is kind of meant for endgame builds, which I appreciate by the way, because by the end of my base game playthrough, I stopped struggling and everything felt like it was kind of handed to me easily. Shadow of the Erdtree is difficult. Yeah, the base game is pretty tough, but this is fucking hard as hell! Luckily there are many weapons, fight styles, and armor sets for you to find and try out, and to be honest, too many to keep track of. I personally decided to stick to what I know best, which is the Bloodhound Fang Curve Sword, but I at least tried out some of the new armor sets. What you see on screen is hopefully spoiler-free gameplay, and I tried not to show too much of the new regions that I recorded. This DLC kicks your fucking ass, and it humbles you more than the base game ever did. In fact, this DLC hurts your feelings, and I don't recommend it if you have anger issues. This DLC is like dating a beautiful woman for many years that you love and appreciate so much, and then she cheats on you. After all the hours that I spent playing this, I maybe leveled up around 40 times, and From Software realized that many players might want an easier time, so they introduced a lot of new loot items that can be used to craft, level up your stats, and more. One of these new items is a Scattered Tree Fragment, which increases your character's damage and damage negation. A Revered Spirit Ash does the exact same but for your Spirit Ashes. You'd use these items to upgrade your stats while resting at a site of grace, similar to using Sacred Tears and Golden Seeds. There's new enemy types, and some are deadly as hell. I notice a lot of refurbished enemies from the base game, and sometimes you'll just see the exact same enemies over and over again, but with more health. But to be honest with you, I didn't really care. I still enjoyed beating them, and luckily the DLC provides a large variety of new enemies, so it doesn't feel repetitive. I think the new bosses are perfect, and whoever designed them needs a fucking raise. They're very hard, really hard, but too hard? I don't think so, but they definitely need some getting used to. After all, this is Elden Ring. I mean, it's not meant to be easy. You could just back off, go explore a new region, level up, come back stronger. This is meant to be short, so I won't go into details with the story. I think some of the game's best cutscenes are in the DLC, and the story is told through talking to new NPCs that you'll come across, very similar to the base game. You'll have access to fast traveling back and forth from the base map to the new map as well. Shadow of the Erdtree just feels like an extension to Elden Ring. There isn't anything that the DLC does better than the base game. It's just more Elden Ring. And I'm okay with that. You know, Elden Ring is already a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. And it's one of the only games that I've played that I wish would never end. And I'm glad that I got to play another 40 hours of new content and just more Elden Ring. It's a big ass DLC, and it feels like another installment in the genre, not just an expansion. I've heard many people say this and I couldn't agree more. This is basically Elden Ring 1.5. It's been worth my money, and the people that think that the DLC is too hard and are leaving bad reviews on Steam, well... If my stupid bitch ass can do it without any summons or spirit ashes, you can too. In short, this DLC is a masterpiece. The longer you play it, the more you realize why Elden Ring is one of the greatest games of all time. And now with this massive expansion, I don't see why this shouldn't be the safest option for the greatest game of all time. Shadow of the Erdtree is an easy 10 out of 10. If you like this video, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and check out some of the merch. The link is in the description for that. Let me know what game I should do next, and I'm grateful for all your support. Thanks.